So I picked up some parts today. I had a couple tubs full. Then the guy said, "How about $100 for everything else?" So I ended up with fork tubes, wiring harnesses, stators, rotors, taillights, headlights, foot pegs, several seats, R75 frame, R100 frame, some subframes, some fenders, final drives, air boxes, more fenders, 4 engine blocks, coils, some wheels, a bunch of cylinders, /2 frame, exhaust stuff, some more heads and foot pegs. I feel like there was maybe 6 or 8 heads that I got. One set of dual plugs, one set of like R60 heads, brake drums, pistons and rings, a complete rear end for disc brake. This one's for sale. There was some K-bike stuff mixed in, one of those seats, these engine guards, which took me a while to identify, and some connecting rod bearings and a manual and some other things. Those are all for sale. I just picked up the candidate for all those parts. This is a 77 R100RS that has been fully tweaked. Well, first thing I noticed was that the mufflers are upside down. So it doesn't have the RS fairing. It looks like it had some sort of S fairing on it. I'm seeing a dual disc front end and Lesters. Those look like 40mm calipers. Aftermarket fender brace. It's from Philadelphia. Oil cooler, big bings. It's like everything that could be bashed off was. So tail light and blinkers, even the mud guard thing at the bottom of the fender, the ends of the petcocks, spark plug wire, gauges, mirrors maybe. Battery is split. Tank is dented. I started to fiddle with this and looks like it's locked. Wow. Twin plug coils. So that might mean that there's a spark plug on the bottom of the head. This is a twin plug bike. Yep, spark plugs on the bottom of both. No clutch, no brake, ears are busted. The swing arm is bent, I guess, because that tire is rubbing and sticking out of the fender, and yet both pivots are still in there. So rear brake might have worked when I was rolling it down the hill. I'm used to Kickstarters on these, so it'd be nice to find out if it turns over. I have it on the center stand, and I'm trying to put it in an upper gear and roll the rear wheel by hand, but the transmission's full of neutrals, and when I get a gear, it doesn't want to turn over, so probably stuck. Oil pressure switch, never had that before. Some carnage on the oil pan. I wonder if these gas tank mounts were sheared off in some sort of crash. Oh, these poor gauges, that's a shame. Still got its steering damper, that's interesting. Steering is a little notchy. First order of business is to get it running. There will be a lot of steps in between here and then. And once it runs, I'll probably do a frame swap. I think with this project, I'm going to post videos more regularly. Whether or not they have a grand finale or conclusion at the end of each one, I don't know, and probably not. But I'm tired of having big session files of videos that I'm making that have gone on for years, and I've yet to upload one video on a certain project. So I'm going to start digging in. I have not done that yet. I'm going to put some oil in the cylinders, start cleaning it up. It smells very strongly of gas. Why? Both spark plug boots completely destroyed. So some guy wants the Lester rear wheel. I need to check it for cracks, make sure it's straight before I sell it to the guy. So I don't feel like a total sleaze bag. Something is bent in the rear end, and if it's the wheel, well, that's no good. Normally I take off the front wheel and tilt it up, but I mean, this fender's already destroyed and I'm gonna take this stuff off anyway. I think that shock's on upside down. Yeah, both of them are. Okay, and there's the pivot, or not pivot, but there's the mounting bolt for that one. That's a shame. Yeah, that's more than a shame. That's really annoying. Looks like it's tracking pretty straight. I don't know what is bent. Oh, it must be the swing arm. Looks like there's a big crease right here. I really don't want to ship it to the guy and pay to ship the tire. I really don't want to nick the tire with the Sawzall. So I'll try to be careful. Wow, yeah, I kind of don't want to be breathing right now. I'll do something else. I'm going to try to turn the engine over with the front, with the rotor. Who knows what I'm going to find once I start digging into this. Not used to bikes with oil coolers. I like it, I just never had one with one. I'm probably going to have to take that oil cooler off to get this front cover out. Like I have, it's hot, they melt themselves. That's a problem. Been in the bottom of the sea. Looks absolutely terrible. Let's just see if anything would happen. Oh no. This is all just destroyed. Absolutely sucks to see as an enthusiast. Just everything is destroyed. It just, hoping even the perches could work, but they're all bent and destroyed. First time dealing with non/5 style perches. That out of the way. Take that out of the engine case because I'm going to have to dig in there anyway. I should just snip it off. It's an expensive bolt. I've had to buy that one separately. It's chrome and flat. Oh no, I broke it. Why would the fairing be bolted to the headlight shell? That is cheesy. That other fairing stay was through the headlight mount. Brake cable. What the hell kind of bar is this? It's like two halves. They like spliced together two half bars or something. What is going on? I've never seen that before. That is cheesy. Oops. I need to get the wiring harness out now. Just a screw. Just a screw on both sides. It seems too simple. Was it even a captive screw? It didn't want to fall out. I should have a captive screwdriver. Tiny little screw up in there. Is that holding this on really? Just unplug it, sure. All right, so what do we have here? Doesn't even appear that they're welded. It's just like, it's a brazed? Doesn't even look like it's brazed. Is that how it's supposed to be? Pull off the other end of the speedometer cable, and the inside is all messed up too. I noticed that the vent is loose on here. I bet there's a nest in there. There might even still be someone living in there. I've never even checked the oil on this or dropped the bowls. Why don't I do that? Yum. Why did I do that? I would rather not know. Dipstick's loose already, so. There's clean-ish oil on it. Oh, it's missing the fuel tee on this side. Some stuff is in there. I never rebuilt a set of big beans before, so this will be a learning experience. Let me pop the bowl on the other side and take the carburetor off, might as well. White stuff again. Get this battery out of here. And to take this off, I have to take that off and take that off, and oh yeah, all the wiring goes through there. That's convenient. So then the grate isn't there to keep animals out. Yep. That's where I knew I was going to get to, and my phone is basically dead. Actually, it's another day, and I've got a couple more percent on my phone. I should end the video by taking the wheel off and checking for it to be true, and then mailing it off. I hope I'm not getting scammed, but the guy wants to trade 2 rear Lesters for a set of spokes. I'm gonna have to ship them. He's gonna have to ship his. Is it really a good deal for me? 2 Lesters plus probably $75 to ship it to get 2 spoke wheels. I should just pull the whole exhaust system. Should just wobble out of here. That pinch bolt is kind of messed up. That's one of the arguments for turning the top hats inside out. They stay with the wheel. You put them under the seal. Splines look decent actually. Because it's bent, it's not going to want to come out. Unless I do that. Dry, rusty, no big deal. I got pretty good on that cut. My furnace is starting to run, so that's why it's so loud. Paint isn't great. Paint ain't great. So yeah, the top hat, if you flip it around to the other orientation, it'll still act as a spacer, but it'll be captured by the seal so that you don't have a loose spacer when you pull the axle. I think on probably half of mine I've done that. Not seeing any major problems yet. If the swing arm wasn't bent, I wouldn't have any reason to believe that this might be bent. So the splines look fairly healthy. If the twist is just in the swing arm, I'll try to save this final drive. Just pop the bead. I'm either going to try to spoon this tire off or just cut off the rest of it. I really don't want to nick that wheel. Ask me about Nomar tire changers. What a piece of crap. I had one for about a day. What was it? Alrighty. Can I tell where I did that? I don't know. That was a success. So I put the wheel on my friend's truing stand, and just loose, it runs pretty straight. And when I apply some pressure on the cones and the bearings, it tracks very straight. Probably even straighter than some wheels I'm currently running and have never checked. It's pretty much dead on. So I don't feel too bad about shipping this one out. I'm going to clean it up and then box it up, and that will be the end of the video. But I'm going to do that in the morning. But while I'm here, I'm just going to keep going on this. Water, great. Okay, now it should be free, basically. Ugh. Those gears look good. So this table was some leftover workbench that was all black and burnt and dirty, and the legs were configured on the outside on some, and there's a bunch of screws broken off in it, and the board was cut off all weird. I noticed that it's about the length of a motorcycle. It could be a motorcycle stand. Took a bunch of unnecessary screws out of it, put the legs back in the inside, and painted it like this tan color I had some extra paint from. So at least it was kind of clean when I started. Now on to this side's exhaust that's all mangled. The real treat is going to be when I pull these heads off. Man, this thing is freaking destroyed. Alright, I was afraid it might be pinched and bent up in there. Well, that doesn't look great. Let's get these carburetors off while I'm here. How about this? Okay, that one moves. That's nice. Don't really want to mess up the threads in the aluminum. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. It's nice and clean in there. Feels like the diaphragm's even still good. The choke even moves. All right, that one shouldn't be too bad. Let's see about this one. Choke is stuck, but cable came out. Throttle is stuck. Okay, throttle cable's gone there and out of there. So there is an inspection sticker still on it. There's some under it that I might be able to find in better shape. It's probably going to break right at the spot that I need it not to. 83. There's two more on top of 83. There's either 85 or 357, 87. Last registered around the time I was born, maybe. Okay, this is the real end of the video this time. I shipped off those two rear lusters that I had. I did that to trade for these two wire spokes. They just arrived, so let's see what I got. Okay, so this one's fairly clean. He didn't include the top hat, although I gave him mine. Oh, these are BMW branded wheel weights. Wow. Somewhat wavy, not terrible. I don't know about the thickness. Don't see any real cracks or anything. Okay, this one's complete. It has both all the spacers. These are both pretty decent. I'll check out the bearings, repack them, maybe replace the seals. Eventually they'll get new tires on them, and these will be on that bike. These are part of that bike's history now.